So, Brandon, the salary cap goes up by a lot, surprisingly so, $255.4 million per team. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's we've been waiting on that number, and we've been working with our own numbers, more conservative than that. So definitely happy. It's the first thing you're trying to do is how are we going to get under cap compliant, by March 13th, and then which we kind of have a plan for that. Now it's what can we do? And you're looking at everything from just a straight restructure like we did with Connor McGovern. Are you trying to alter people's contracts? Do you extend someone? And there's just various ways to create space. So we're looking at everything. Some conversations are way down the road. Some are just getting going even this week. And so we'll continue to work towards getting under the cap and then next seeing how much we can create.
Does it give you optimism that with so many free agents that you have, that you can retain perhaps some people that maybe were more questionable? I'm thinking like Leonard Floyd or Daquan Jones, obviously Gabe Davis. Go down the list of guys that maybe you could keep now more because you have this extra space.
We're hopeful, Vic. I think like anything, these guys, they're on the eve of free agency, and so like anything, I'm sure their reps are going to kind of see where we are, where they are, where can their market go. Their rep's job is to maximize their value, and we understand that, and we want to get them a deal with the guys that we can get back that fits them and fits us. So we're hopeful, but we also know they'll have options as well.
With regard to Stefon Diggs, in terms of just the number that he'll carry, which will be a big one, obviously, and I guess ties into the point of this extra room that you do have. But is there anything to address with him at all contractually just to make it as good a fit, or does it continue business as usual?
Yeah, I think right now it's just business as usual with Steph. I have not seen or talked to Steph since the season's been over. That's not normal. I mean, at this time last year we hadn't either, but great relationship with his agent, Adisa Bakari, and so we talk anyway, even about his draft guys, but I would say business as usual.
The word on this draft, deep at wide receiver and perhaps cornerback would be the two positions that stand out. Your take is maybe different, but in general, on the need area, those would be two spots, too, that would seem to fit with the Bills. How do you look at it?
Which positions?
I'm sorry, wide receiver and cornerback.
Corner, yeah. So, I mean, I think we're gonna evaluate the whole draft. I do think there is going to be a good number of receivers, and I think the DBs, whether it's corners or safeties, I think there's, a decent crop there. We're still working through it, but I do think we'll have options. I think there's other players, obviously we've got D-line, depending on some of the names you mentioned, whether we get them back or not will determine how many guys we need to use some of these 10 picks on. Not that you can determine what round, but at least leaving the draft, knowing you have to add, one D tackle or a D tackle and a DN, or kind of how it plays out here in free agency.
Was there any level of disappointment seeing Matt Araiza sign with the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs, knowing that that could have been your punter, and of course knowing the postscript that he was cleared of all the legal issues?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't get into where he went. I'm disappointed that a draft pick didn't work out. We really had, like all draft prospects, done a lot of research on Matt, and the accusations that came out were anything but than what we had heard from. You know what I mean? Just out of the blue, didn't match. And it happened so fast from when we first heard about it to when the whole story blew up. And we were kind of forced into a tough decision knowing that we were on the heels of the season, and you don't want to go into the season with distractions. And it wasn't Matt's fault per se, but we were hoping at the time for a commissioner's exempt list or something like that, but it wasn't an option on the table, so we made what we thought was the best decision for the Bills. But Matt handled it great. He really did. There's nothing I could have advised him really to do different. It's just tough circumstances he was dealt, and you hated it for him, you hated it for us. But wish him nothing but the best. He didn't ask for this.
And Brandon, to what extent, as you look back on yet another season that didn't go beyond the playoffs for you to get to the Super Bowl, to what extent do you look at that and examine everything you do in any different light? That, okay, what do we need to do to get over this hump? How do you deal with that question in your head?
Yeah, I mean, Vic, it's you're constantly the sleepless nights or laying awake, waking up in the night. You're constantly thinking of everything. You're trying to turn over every stone. What players we bring in? Could we have gotten this player instead of that player? Whether it's a draft or free agency or an injury, like could we have prevented an injury? You're just always looking at every part of your process to what ultimately becomes the product on the field, and so we're always going to turn that stone. Even if we had won the Super Bowl, I'm still sure there would be things going. We won, but we've got to get better at, and it's just the nature of the beast. You're super competitive, and you're always trying to find an inch here, an inch there.
Great. Thank you very much.
You got it, Vic.